I think it's lack of mobility, sitting at a desk all day on top of a pain in my lower left back.
Okay. So you have pain in your lower left back. You sit a lot. Okay. So what do you imagine to be like? What do you see as the barrier to you feeling good? Like, I understand that this is how you're feeling and this is your life situation. So what do you think is kind of like stopping you from making progress and feeling good?
I think putting in the time and doing all of the mobility and the stretching and the
Sure.
movement. Um, but there's also a part of me that wonders if the pain is like emotionally tied. You know how they talk about emotions being trapped to certain parts of your body. Can't help but wonder if there's anything that I need to release also.
Yeah, I mean, I would generally predict for any person anywhere, there is some element of emotional and mental factors that play into any pain, right? So whether that is like specific events in your life, like acute moments where you accumulated emotional trauma, or it's more like mental perspectives that are kind of governing how you live your life and in parallel how your body moves and feels. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Do you go through any of that in your programs? I haven't gone through all of your videos.
Sure. So the way the program works is that there are 15 movements that help you to mobilize your body and uncover what is the are the root causes of your pains in your body, right?
Okay.
So the movements are it's not like a lot of people ask me like, "Oh, I have this specific pain. Like I have this exact pain, what movement should I do?" But it's not like that, right? There are 15 kind of like general back and hip movements that just release in general your just the whole area, right? So they have that immediate factor, but they also teach you just the method, right? The method of reconnecting with your body, feeling your body, mobilizing your joints, and just causing pain release, right?
Mhm.
Like literally, you learn this skill that you can sit down, lay down, whatever, stand, anything, and just engage with your body, target a pain, and release at least some of it on on command, like within 10, 15 minutes, right?
Okay.
It doesn't mean that you'll completely eliminate all your pain, but you can make an improvement immediately.
Okay. Thank you.
So you also mentioned that you have a challenge with like time, right? Which I find to be really common, right? Like a lot of people say to me, Matt, I have pain. And it's like, do you move? It's like, no, for this reason or the other, right? It's like, I don't have time, whatever, too stressed, etc. So do you find this to be like a stopping barrier? Let's that's important for me to help all people with, right? Like, if they do the movements, they succeed, right? But there's like barriers that prevent people from actually doing the movements. So I help a lot with that as well, right?
Right.
So how do you perceive this barrier?
I think I just have to cut all of the many things that suck out my time, get off social media as often, turn off the TV, just putting in small pockets of things to watch the videos so I can know what I'm supposed to do. And then in between those things, I can do them after that.
Hmm. See, I would say that like you're not wrong. You're not wrong that if you achieved that, then you would be able to do those things. I totally agree with you, right? So the difficulty with that perspective is that that's kind of like challenging. It's actually difficult. That's like a big achievement, right? Imagine that, like cutting out social media when it has such a grip on our attention. And that's not easy, right? Like people try to do that for years and don't do it because it offers value as well, right?
Right, right.
So I would suggest to you that that kind of goal, while completely true, is difficult, right?
Yeah.
So the thing with these movements is you don't need to make such a drastic life change before you can get success, right? You don't need to cut anything out. You don't need to do any productivity changes. You don't need to change any like how you deal with your life or anything like that. If you can just start to just lay down like just 15 minutes here and there, just when it pops into your head and you're like, oh, I'm not doing anything, and just do it. These are so effective that what you're going to find is that you're going to get the experience of relief and you're going to go, whoa, whoa, I like this.
Okay.
Right. So you're not going to, and that excitement for the pain improving is going to make time for itself. Right. Like your excitement, just because it's effective, will
Right.
just, you'll just go, it will become effortless. Right. You'll just be like, whoa, I can't wait. You'll be motivated.
Okay. Of your videos, I guess the flexibility would probably be my first one to go through.
Maybe I would recommend starting because you're referring to a program called the conscious stretching, right? Which is a good program. Really good for flexibility. It teaches you to do it very slowly and very consciously. However, it is a program that I made after the back pain miracle, and it is a program that builds upon the back pain miracle, right? So the
Okay.
core skill, the core ability, the core life ability that you're going to gain is best gained from the back pain miracle,
Okay.
right? So after you just acquire that skill, and these exercises, they just go for like 10 minutes, right? Only 15. You can space them out over whatever, a month or two, right? But after you just make your way through that set of initial videos, you're gonna have this life skill, and then you can go, oh yeah, I'm gonna do conscious stretching now, and you can apply that skill to conscious stretching.
Okay. So that
So
back pain miracle, that's additional to the program that I got.
see, I'm not 100% what you've purchased, right?
Okay.
Do you know the name of the of what you purchased? Do you know do you know what you got?
Let me see if I can find it in my email.
Because most people buy the initial program called the Back Pain Miracle, and then there's like an upsell, kind of like, oh, do you also want
Oh,
this? And you
yes,
can
yes.
get like conscious stretching, a sciatica program, and a strengthening program too, and a neck pain program.
Yep, I do see that one, but I don't see it on the list of classes programs when I'm going through the thing. Let me go back through the email.
It would probably be like the very first email that you receive, right?
Oh, I see, I see. All right. Yes, this different link, I do see the back pain. All right, I will go through that one first and start working through that one.
Yeah, like and just do the exercises in order, right?
Okay.
Like and there is a structured routine there if you want to use it. And that's for people who like structured routines, right? Some people just they love routines, they want a routine. If I put a program without a routine, they're like, "Where's the routine? I can't do this program." Do it if you
Mhm.
like. Do it if you want the routine. Though I recommend you just work your way through the program. Just
Okay.
try it out, experience it, reflect on it afterwards, and just make it easy for yourself, right? If you try to force a routine on yourself, it feels like work. Just
Okay.
baby step your way through, experience it, just pick up the skill.
Got it, got it. Okay. Thank you.
Yep. The first three movements will really help you so much.
Okay.
Okay. So that was a good question for people who are like completely new. So thanks so much for that. Really helpful. I'm gonna go to someone else now. Gladys, you were the next one to arrive, so why don't you weigh in? You'll have to speak up now, Gladys, or you'll miss your turn. Okay, gonna come back to you, Gladys. There's someone who's listed here. I saw you came third. Your username is HPPC. So if you have a Hewlett Packard PC, that could be you. Probably don't know who you are though. Okay. Well, let's go with Kathy. How are you, Kathy? Okay, let's how about Bernard and Dana Williams? Some people must be either shy or just preferring to listen at this stage. Okay, Dennis. Uh, okay, literally anyone who wants to talk, just talk.
Hi, Matt. Can you hear me?
Sure can. How are you? Pallavi,
Good.
yeah?
Yes, Pallavi.
Pallavi.
Yeah, hi. I have a question. I have your back pain miracle, which I absolutely love.
Great.
Bought it maybe, I don't know, a couple of years ago when I was having some upper back pain, kind of in the shoulder blade area. And I did the exercises and it was just like, just awesome. It totally relieved the pain and I was just so excited. And yeah, I've been basically doing the exercises almost every day.
Oh,
So
great.
they're just so helpful and I really love it. So
Sure. Did you kind of take that into a direction where you're kind of like just independently creating your own movements just based on the general idea?
kind of, but I'm really just doing the movements that you show in the program.
Sure.
But the question I have is, I've actually been diagnosed with a frozen shoulder, I guess also known as rotator cuff impingement.
Mhm.
And I'm going to PT and I'm doing all the stretches that they're showing me to do, and it's just a very slow going thing. It's taking a long time to approve. And per the medical model, they say, oh, this will take at least 3 to 4 months, maybe 6 months, depends on the individual situation. So
Yep.
I'm wondering how using conscious movement can help me with my shoulder and what kind of exercises I could do to help myself improve.
Sure. Are you able to do video right now? I'll help you right now if you like.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, turn it on and show us what's happening.
Um, let's see.
Everyone can participate in this. No one has to
Yeah,
turn on their
right.
else needs to turn on their video, but yeah, let's just do some shoulder stuff.
My
I'm just
life.
gonna make sure
Sorry.
that I can see my video so I can kind of like get some feedback of what I'm showing you. Just give me a moment.
Okay.
Um, okay. All right. Okay. So show me how your shoulders, what's going on with
Well,
your shoulder, right?
basically, it's my left shoulder. So I'm I'm limited in range of motion. So this one I can go that far. This
Yeah.
is like that far.
Yep.
If I'm trying to move back, like especially if I'm lying flat on my back, it won't go as far back as this one will. If I'm in a child's pose and I want to put my hands forward, the left one just won't go as far forward and far down as my right hand. And the biggest thing is when I try and put it behind my back, like I was always able to get it almost right up to the top of my back here. And right now, it's only really going up to my like waist. That's about
Mhm.
as far as I can get it.
Okay. No worries. You can fix that.
Mhm.
It's okay, right? So what do you? Let's just cover some quick theory, right? So like, what do you think is happening? Like, you say you have a frozen shoulder. Like, what do you think that is?
Well, I guess my muscles have become very tight. All the muscles that around the shoulder joint, they have become very tight, and as a way of protecting me, I honestly don't know what caused it. I don't even remember something that happened that I don't remember injuring it, falling, overdoing it at the gym, anything. And it was just like I woke up one day and it was kind of hurting. So yeah, but basically, from what I've been told, that the muscles are kind of going into a spasm or just become tight to protect myself from having further pain, and they have just become tight, and my range of motion has become very restricted.
Mhm. Yeah. Like you have a pretty good understanding, I would say. Like the way you're putting it, the part that I agree with, right, is that like you have this limited range of motion, right? And when you try to go beyond what your is kind of like your limitation, like you start to experience pain. And the further you go toward the where you want to go, the more pain you get, and you try to do it, and you're like, that hurts, and then you have to retreat, right? Okay. So when you're in this zone down here, it's okay, right? You're okay.
Yep.
But when you're up here, you would be in pain.
Yes.
Okay, so there's somewhere along the path where you get to, and you kind of showed me, and it was about here, right? You start to get pain.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's like a spectrum of when you go from no pain to tiniest little bit of pain to increasing pain to increasing pain to too much pain. Right? So the way to approach all pains is that you move closer to the pain where it's like manageable, like comfortable, right? So let's say let's do it with me, right? Just start to raise your arm up and tell me and find a spot where you're like, that is like 5 or 10% of the pain.
Yeah, there. It feels,
Okay.
I can feel tightness setting in.
So is that 5 to 10%? Because I can see on your face that you're kind of like in discomfort.
Yeah.
Okay. But what I mean by that is like the discomfort on your face kind of looks more than 5 to 10%. You kind of like you don't like that, right?
Yeah, maybe there.
Okay. Cool. That's fine. Right? So what I want you to try to do is kind of like map out a pathway of your shoulder mobility that is kind of like around that area, right? Like maybe like you have this or something like that. And that's kind of the 5% range. Can you show me that range where you're like, yeah, this is all 5%, this is all 5%, right? Okay. Yeah, I like what you're doing there, right? You're kind of like skirting the edges of discomfort, right? Like,
Can't go any further back.
right, yeah. Yeah, like so there's a back element to it, there's a forward element to it, and you kind of feel like there's like a border, right? Like this is like the boundary. Okay. So across that boundary things start to intensify, right? So I have one client who was in your situation big time, and he just could not like do anything, right? He was like, ow, right? And now he's like this, right? He's like, oh, look at all this stuff I can do, right? So what I'm going to tell you is effective, okay? So what you want to do is you want to start to master this range. Okay? So let's start to do it right now, okay? Let's start to getting to know just this point at the boundary of pain before we concern ourselves with like further, right? So let's stay in the range of comfort. And we're doing these kind of circles that just take us up to discomfort, right? See, that was a little too much, right? See, I saw you go, right? That's not what we're trying to do here. We're just trying to stay in the comfort, right? Okay. Because like you need kind of like this comfort and ease and I don't want to say mastery, but like confidence in a range of motion before you go to another range of motion, right? So what you can start doing is you're going to start walking around your house and just, going like that. And you're just going to edge up to the boundaries, right? And you're going to do this very free form movement that isn't really, you're not stretching anything, you're not like doing weights or anything like that, but you are mobilizing your shoulder, right? And you are progressively you're just inching your way into mobility, right? Because the reason I asked you at the beginning, like, what do you think a frozen shoulder is? Frozen shoulder is a name for where there's a range of movement that doesn't exist for you. Okay. So there's a barrier, and outside that barrier is too much pain. Right. So you are going to like start just edging your way, just expanding your range of motion without, they want you to do this, they want you to do this, right? They want you to yank everything, right? You don't have
Right.
to yank, you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, and that's part of me thinking this just doesn't feel right. That I'm just having to constantly like push and stretch.
Exactly. You don't have to push anything, you don't have to stretch anything. All you have to do is it's just the gradual expansion of your comfort zone. That's it. Right. And the only discomfort you ever need to feel is just like a few percent more discomfort than you're used to. Right. So, I said, okay, you can do it like that. But also you should lay down on the ground. Right. And one of the things that I did from my shoulder, because like it was in that situation as well, right? Like what I would find is that if I laid on the ground and put my arms like that directly above me and tried to go like this, I would only get to about there before there was all this like shaking and pain, right? So I would just take it down a little bit and just do these circles like that, right? So if I can make what I'm saying more conceptual and applicable to, every position, it's like choose any position you like, lying down, lean back on your couch, and just gradually expand your mobility. And okay, that's part of it, right? So now I've conceptualized this idea, right? Gradually expand your mobility. I think you get that, right?
Yeah.
It's just in terms of movement, right? Second thing is where this becomes conscious movement is that while you're doing it, you just relax and get meditative, right? You have Indian background, or
Yes.
so you know all about what I'm talking about, right? Like this is more natural to you than Westerners, okay?
I'm not
Just
sure.
gonna channel, meditative, conscious energy, right? And you're just gonna you're gonna focus in here, and you're just gonna take this very deep focus to your shoulder, right? And you're gonna feel the joints, you're gonna feel the muscles and get to know it independently, the sensations and how to work with it. You're gonna be like, oh, what's that little pain? What is that? Ah, yeah, there's a little, what is that? Okay. Sometimes emotions will come up or something like that. Just sit there and let them wash over. But you're literally becoming conscious of your shoulder, right? So frozen shoulder isn't just a lack of movement. Frozen shoulder is a lack of consciousness, right? It's an abandonment. It's a rejection of the sensations in that area, right? So that's why when you go like this, you're like, no, I reject that,
Right.
right? So you just tell everyone to buzz off, leave you alone. All right. Put on some of your favorite music. You can listen to whatever kind of music is just soothing. Right.
I think
And
I get what he's doing here.
That's good, Lauren. And just start to explore, feel, relax into, and expand. Okay. Does that make sense? That's a generalized pain theory that we've used the shoulder as an example for.
Yeah, totally. And then just keep on doing that until I can just move it more.
Yep. 100%. Yeah.
And then continue to do my exercises from PT also at the same time.
You should only do an exercise if you feel immediate benefit from it. Like if when you're doing the exercise, you're like, is this helping me? Like, I don't know if I'm like, I don't like this. I don't feel good. You should not do that exercise. Right. Because the thing with PT is they like prescribe you exercises and then they say, well, scientifically, this is proven. If you do it, you're going to feel better. Right. But then you go home and experientially, that's not what you feel. Right. So a lot of my work is encouraging people to abandon you know, like scientific instruction for how to move and just start to just feel your body and just be the independent liver. Like, I don't mean your liver, I mean to live, right? The liver of your body, to become in harmony with your body, right? Does that answer you that question?
Yeah, no, that's great. Thank you. And I just, I guess the other question is, if I did want to work with you, I mean, would I just shoot you an email or?
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. That's the kind of stuff we do one-on-one. Like we're basically just like, you know, like I've given you this mission to go off and do it yourself, but like, you know, one-on-one, we're like, do it, and you're like, oh yeah, I feel that. Right. Yeah. The clients get a little wild success. Like you just can't imagine. Like the life transformation is so rapid.
Mhm.
It's just out of this world, really. So yeah,
Yeah.
just write me an email.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the back pain miracle exercises, I mean, I just love them. So, and also, like I said, the PT exercises just aren't speaking to me. So I'm thinking, there has to be another way.
Right. They have value in terms of introducing people to the body, right? But because physical therapy is physical therapy, it's already limited. I made a video recently, I'll put it out soon, that it's just a request to physiotherapists to elevate themselves beyond purely physical therapy. It's like every physiotherapist needs to become a physical, emotional, mental, spiritual coach.
For sure. Yeah, definitely addressing all levels.
Okay. Yeah, just shoot me an email. We'll set something up.
All right, great. Well, thank you so much for your help. I appreciate it.
You're welcome, Pallavi.
Bye.
Okay. Let's take the next caller. Let's have a look here. Okay, there's a few chats here. I'm just gonna take a look at them. Okay, what do we got here? First one is from well, Megan or Megan. Okay, so I'll read it out for everybody. I have really tight ITB and adductor muscles, very tight feet, post disc replacement and fusion. Okay, fine. I expect you want me to start from the beginning. Where else? I walk. Oh, you mean in your story? Okay, I walk once to twice per day. Wondering what you think about walking on soft level sand on the beach. I love the grounding, but wondering if it makes it worse. Okay, okay. I understand. How you doing, Megan? Or is it Megan? Depends on where you're from.
Megan.
Okay. Megan, did you say?
I'm from Australia.
Ah, yeah, Megan. Yeah, yeah. And I was so shocked when I met the first American that's like, no, it's Megan.
It doesn't really worry me. Either way is
Okay.
fine.
Well, tell me a bit more.
I had a disc replacement and fusion on L4, L5, L5S1 8 years ago.
Okay.
And I've had sciatica type pain ever since, but it comes and goes, and I've probably got it to the absolute best lately. I'm lying on a pimped mat right now, pulsed electronic magnetic resonance.
Can you say the last 5 seconds again? Like you have a what and do what?
I'm lying on a pimped mat right now, Swiss Bionic pulsed electronic magnetic resonance mat with
fine.
infrared heat. But
so you're in quite a bit of pain.
Well, no, I manage it quite well.
Okay.
So I don't. But I do a lot. I'm a naturopath, so I use bioresonance, and I've done a huge amount of cleansing. And the reason why I got this, I think, is because of Lyme and chronic mold in toxicity.
Okay.
So I've done a huge amount of cleansing in that respect, and yeah. But I've started doing Pilates, but I do find that the Pilates sometimes it tends to aggravate me a little bit, but I do settle down. So I'm sort of taking it to the point where I'm aggravating the nerve a little bit, but then it settles down afterwards. So I'm probably sort of just pushing it, like you're saying with the shoulder, pushing it to that point, but it's recovering. Okay, so I'm feeling that that's okay, because I've got to try and build up my core strength somehow.
Okay.
I've purchased your program ages ago and I haven't used it that much, so I think I need to get back to it. But yeah, I get these chronic, my life revolves around having a massage once a week, and she finds it hard to release my ITB and all these tight muscles, tight fascia everywhere. And on the other week, I have acupuncture with an osteopath, and he does a better job of releasing me. The massage therapist uses cupping, but I feel like I really need an hour and a half of her time to get a result, and I only do an hour, so it doesn't, like yesterday I had the massage and I'm still tired.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay, sure. Okay, so you said you do Pilates, right? And
Once a week.
so, and one thing you said, like you probably experience some benefit, but also Pilates kind of like takes you a bit over the line of comfort, and you get a bit of pain from it, but so it's kind of like some benefit, some negativity, right?
Yeah, I've got a good and a bad side. I've got one side weaker than the other, my right side, like most people, I think. Is that true of most people?
Yeah, I think that's true.
Mm. Mm. I used to do yoga and I wish I'd never given it up, but since I've been fused, I find it really hard to do yoga. So the fusion is the biggest downfall.
Okay. Have you seen, like you said you got the program a while ago, but haven't used it. Have you seen the movements at all? Have you watched them? Do you know what they're about?
Yeah, a long time ago I looked at them and I thought they were brilliant, and I just sort of forgotten about it. Sorry. So, and then you popped up on my feed today, and I thought, oh, I should. It'd be good to listen to you, because I know that you're very skilled in this area, and yeah, so I thought I'd jump on and see what you've got to say.
Yeah, I think that you're in exactly the right place for precisely the back pain miracle movements. All right. For example, all right, there's a movement. It's the second movement in the course. It's just called knees side to side, right? Which is basically you're lying on your back and you've got your knees up, right? Like your hips are bent like up, and then your knees are bent, right? Am I explaining that well?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like you're gonna do a glute bridge, right? Like you're in that position, yeah, so your knees are just like, right? And in that position, let's just say these are your knees, right? These are your legs, right? What you're basically doing is moving side to side. Okay. That's the first part of the idea, right? Now, that alone is not an uncommon idea, right? Like, for example, physiotherapists, you can go and they'll tell you, mobilize your spine by moving like this, right? Or they'll say, put your legs up on a fit ball, one of those big fit ball kind of things, and kind of rock side to side. Does that sound like something you would have ever tried, right?
Yes, I've missed something major about myself, actually. I have intermittent peripheral neuropathy. So I get, like, for example, at the moment, the feeling in my feet is really quite good, except this morning I woke up and my left heel was really quite numb. And then I went for a walk and I stretched on a block and I lay on my pimp mat and I went for a walk and the feelings come back again. But, it comes and goes. Feeling comes and goes. And I also lost the feeling down the middle strips of my big toes after I think I got COVID, before we even knew about COVID. So, months before we knew about COVID, I got something that gave me a 3-day headache. And a few months after that was when the left big toe lost its feeling in the middle middle third of the strip of the big toe. It's very weird. It's biotoxin, I think. And then the next month later, the other toe went. So I'm trying to regain all this feeling in my feet, and I don't think it's totally coming from my back. I think part of it's coming from Lyme co-infections, mold, God knows what. That's why I do all the cleansing I do.
Okay. Okay. I understand. Like, you have those specific symptoms. Fine. Okay. Let's not continue to focus too specifically on specific symptoms at the moment, right? Because okay, I understand your situation well enough, and you understand it very well. Okay, you understand exactly what you're experiencing, right? Let's just focus on what you can do. Okay. So let's just go back to this movement, this side to side movement. You've seen this before. You've probably been prescribed it. You've probably tried it, right? Where you just move your legs side to side. Yeah. So let's say I told you to do that, right? Let's say I told you, put your knee, I'm not actually telling you, right? This is a thought experiment, right? Let's say I told you to put your legs up on a Fitball and rock side to side to mobilize your spine. What would your reaction to an exercise, like if I told you to do that, how would you feel about that?
I have to get the right size ball, wouldn't I? I'm a real Goldilocks. So it's got to be exactly precise.
Okay. Now let me ask you why it would need to be exact.
Because if I sit on a chair, if it's not completely flat and it's not padded, I'm very uncomfortable. So
hold on, I'm talking about you laying on your back and putting your legs up on a ball and rocking side to side.
I wouldn't want my legs to be going up. I'd want them to be going over the ball beautifully, I would think.
Right.
So
because otherwise what would happen? You would feel what?
If I had it at an angle going up, it'd probably put more pressure on my lower spine and aggravate it.
Exactly. Right. Like I'm leading you towards just an observation, right? Like, so a lot of the movements you're trying, they come with pain, right? Like for example, the Pilates, you do it, but it comes with pain,
aggravation,
right? So I'm going to introduce you to a core idea behind the back pain miracle exercises, right? The key idea with these back pain miracle exercises, as I was beginning to introduce to Pallavi, is that the idea is that they're painless.
Yeah.
Right. So they're meant to put you in positions that are the base position where you start off, you're completely pain-free. Right. Even just say I told you to, lie on your back with your legs up like that, feet on the ground, just with your knees bent. Right. Some people might say, oh, but I can't lie flat on the ground because my neck hurts. Right. And I'd be like, well, put a pillow there. And it's like, well, something else. I'd be like, well, put a blanket here, a pillow there, whatever you got to do. Right. So these exercises, you start off in a completely, comfortable position. Right. And when I say completely comfortable, I mean as comfortable as you generally are. Right. Some people are more comfortable than others at their baseline. Right. So what you're going to be doing, you're going to try this exercise. It's called knees side to side. It's the second exercise. You're going to get in that position. You're going to do any sort of adjustments you need to be like totally comfortable. And then what it's going to teach you to do is how to move so slowly and so comfortably that you are just like encouraging, just like gentle, releasing, efficient movement, right? Because I sense that you haven't experienced this yet, right? Like to release the pains you're having, you need to slow your movement all the way down, right? So you would lay down, you'd put on your favorite music, you could light a candle if you like. You do everything to make your beginning experience so comfortable and so right? So just like, you can call it snug or something like that, or just cozy, right? And you're going to do these ultra, ultra gentle painless movements that gently move your knees. And as your knees move, your hips are going to move, your backs are going to move, your back is going to move. And all these muscles you're referring to, your IT band, your adductor muscles, everything you want to mention, all these muscles, everything involved, everything in your back, everything in your hip, everything in your legs, all your muscles are going to ultra gently just lengthen and contract. You're going to be like this calm jellyfish, right?
Mhm.
And you are going to like sink into this deep relaxation, and all your joints are going to gently mobilize. And that's going to be your base of how you're going to expand your movement, right? Because the painlessness, the painless movement that you're looking for, the painless life experience. And by the way, you said you've had fusions and stuff like that. I don't know whether or not it's possible to achieve absolute painlessness, right? But let's just say to reach your potential of what's possible for you, the way you're going to get it is by starting in the absolute most comfortable, nice position, and absolutely the slowest way you can possibly do, start to expand your movement, right? Can I highlight the contrast between that and Pilates? Pilates, you go there, you lay down, you brace your core, you go like this, you go like that, right?
Mm.
And that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing and it's right for certain people in certain situations, but you have lost a lot of mobility, right? And you have seem to have a fair amount of pain, right? So you need to go to level 1, right? Pilates is like level 30 out of 100, up to all the way up to level 100, right? Pilates is difficult. You need to dial it all back down
Mhm.
and start to just mobilize in the most gradual way you can imagine. Is this
What are
okay?
what are your thoughts
me-
about me walking on the beach? Because I get a lot of enjoyment out of walking on the beach.
Walk on the beach.
Yeah, but I feel like my muscles are probably tightening up. And but if I say no, Megan, you can't go for a walk on the beach, then I get upset.
Don't do that to yourself. Okay. Like walking on the beach in itself doesn't tighten up your muscles. Only your reaction to walking on the beach can tighten up your muscles.
Mm.
Right. So the only reason people's muscles tighten up when they do certain activities is because they have dis-ease, not disease, dis-ease.
Mm.
That's they've
Yeah,
taken the word and twisted it, right? They have dis-ease about the activity, right? A lot of people get pain from sitting. It's not because sitting is an inherently causative in pain. It's because they have dis-ease about sitting and they don't like the activities they're doing and they wish they weren't sitting, right?
I do too. I have that too. have that problem.
If you
can't
hate
sit
sitting,
for
you're
long.
going to get pain when you're sitting. But a lot of people can sit pain-free. And that just proves that sitting itself is not causative in pain. The same as walking on the sand on the beach is not causative in pain. You plus, a dis-ease-full reaction to walking on the beach will cause you pain. But after you start to get into your body, after you start to do these movements and, start to really connect with your hips and back, you're going to feel way more confident. You're going to have more control. Your muscles and joints are going to loosen up. And then you're just going to walk on the beach and you're going to be like, you know what? I'm okay. I'm okay. This is all right. One of my clients had this thing where he was afraid to use his body, as he put it, right? And since he started this, he's literally overcome his fear of using his body. He used to think, oh, I'm doing this, it's causing pain. I'm doing that, it's causing pain, right? Now he's like, I know that now that was just my fear, right? So I would recommend you just go into the Back Pain Miracle, relax, do the movements, learn this body consciousness method, learn to just gradually expand and mobilize your joints. Don't cut out activities, especially just, nice, gentle activities like walking on the beach. There's nothing wrong with that. Does this answer most of your query?
Yeah, thank you.
I guarantee you these movements are going to help you. Go into the program and do them.
Yeah, do I need the ball to be the right
No.
height for my hips?
No, don't worry about a ball. I was just giving you an example of
Oh.
I was giving you an example of how when you go like this, it causes all
Yeah.
concern, right? That
Yeah.
was my counter example to create contrast to what I actually want to tell you to do, right? You're just
Right.
going to put your knees together and you're just going to move them so slowly that there'll be no concern whatsoever because your movement will be so gentle, so soothing, you won't have a concern in the world.
So I don't need to put my feet up on a ball, just put my feet on
No.
the floor.
Yeah, your
and
feet are going to be on the
then
floor.
just,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, cool. Great.
Yeah.
Thanks. All
Send me an
right.
email if you need any more precise instructions, but I think you'll be okay.
Yeah, thanks, Matt. It's been really helpful.
Okay, sure
Okay.
thing, Megan.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye.
got a question here from Dennis. Matt, no mic or camera. I'm here to learn. I appreciate very much your sharing. Oh, okay. Well, just right now, if you're there, Dennis, do you want to type a question? I'll just wait 20, 30 seconds to see if you're available and there to write a question. I'll just give Dennis some time just in case. Okay, we will come to you next if you do write a question, Dennis. Okay, Dennis, it's not yet. Okay, who else would like to ask a question? We've got a Christopher here. We still got Bernard and Dana or Donna.
I don't have a question. I just want to, can you hear me?
Yeah, is this Dana or Donna? How do you say it?
It's Dana.
Okay. I've lived in Russia and I have a Russian wife and people say Donna, but I was watching them TikTok the other day, a person who was called Dana, and they were so furious that people would call them Donna.
I just
Go ahead.
wanted to say that I got the end back pain, and I've been doing just even the first 4 exercises for my back.
Mhm.
And it's like does wonders. And also that just the conscious not tensing up on day-to-day walking and doing everything like normal stuff has been like a big help.
That's
So just
fantastic.
yeah, thank you for that. It's weird how something so simple, just I live on 4 miles of dirt road, and being in the car tightening up the back and stuff, but just relaxing and going with the car and the way that moves my back, how it's so much less pain now, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. So maybe before you would sit in the car and you'd be like, oh no, I'm sitting. I need to do the
Right.
scientifically proven posture to prevent pain.
Right. Exactly. And I'm like, this dirt road's killing my back and I'm gonna be crippled. And so after
Yeah.
reading the book and watching the videos, and just now I go down my 4 miles of dirt road every day, but relaxing the body, and then plus doing I haven't even done all the exercise. I've just been doing the first 4 exercises that are on there.
Mhm. Yeah.
And just like, wow, crazy. And I'm
Right.
56 and been having like that pain on my lower right back above my tailbone on the right, just from wear and tear over the years, but it's gotten so much better.
Hmm. Yeah, that's good. So, for example, you were doing this knees side to side one that I was mentioning before to
Yep.
Megan, right? So you would feel that lower spine. You just feel like kind of like moving, mobilizing. Are you looking at my video? Like just kind of like this gentle torsional movement. Yeah.
Yep, I do that. I do it like every day now. Almost when I get home and then I just relax. I'm listening to the news a little bit, on low, but and just doing those and doing the rocking. And so I still have to go through all the other videos, but this is already helping.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So I still want to help you go even further. So tell me like what's your present like just come up with a question if you don't mind. Just like tell me like your current perspective that you're wondering, like what's true about how you're meant to do this or what's going to happen next or something?
Well, it seems like I want to purchase the sciatic one because I think I don't know if it's sciatic or not, but it's still because I drive a lot. So it just, I don't know if it's nerves kind of balled up on the lower right above like my buttock on the right. It feels like it's always just tight right there. And
Yeah.
I do get a little bit of pain down the leg too, but I haven't been doing any stretching anymore. I used to stretch, but after doing your stuff, it said don't stretch right now.
Yeah. I
So
mean, you can try conscious stretching at some point in the future. But yeah,
yes,
like I just want to be clear that I'm never saying don't stretch. I'm just saying learn the back pain miracle skill and then take it into stretching. But sure, go ahead.
right. So just that, just I don't know if it's because I don't know if this is weird, but if I have really high arches, so I don't know if that's part of my back pain. Um,
I
maybe not
mean,
weird.
your possible inability to move according to your high arches might contribute to your back pain, but just the existence of high arches isn't purely causative. Do you know what I mean? Like someone could have high arches and no pain, right?
Right, right. But I don't like on Instagram on the end back pain. That's where I found your video. But on end back pain, sometimes it has like hip stretches, and I do some of those. I noticed I've been doing some hip stretching too, along with your videos, and it's helping a lot. But it seems like I always just have that kind of like tightness on that right. But like I said, I
Yeah.
don't know if it's sciatic or not.
Yeah. So I'll explain this now, but I in the sciatica program, you should probably get it because it sounds right for you.
Okay.
So you know,
It's like
it,
right where that bone, okay, if you feel your back right above your buttocks and
yeah,
those two big bones right above it, it's that right bone I don't know what they're called, but it's
it's kind of like honestly like that area in my opinion seems to be the top of the gluteus maximus, and that makes people go, well, what's that got to do with the sciatic nerve? Like, but I'll tell you, like sciatica before it came to mean a compression of the spinal discs on the sciatic nerve, right? Sciatica just meant pain of the hip, right?
Mhm.
So my perspective on sciatica is that if you have pain like in any muscle or any part of your like in any muscle of your leg that's kind of like, just semi related to the sciatic nerve, that's sciatica, right?
Okay.
Like anything to do with the sciatic nerve is sciatica, right? Anything to do with any muscle that has anything to do with another muscle that has something to do with sciatic nerve is sciatica. Okay. That's my point being like, this is just very wide kind of thing, right?
Right.
But the exercises in the sciatica recovery system totally address what you're talking about, right? They address all the muscles of the hip, they address the hamstrings, they address the calves. It's just a whole like sciatic structure rehabilitation program, right? So it's not all focused on trying to like release your joints, your sciatic joint. It's not focused on trying to like pull your sciatic nerve or anything like that. It's just treating with conscious movement all the components of the sciatic structure, which is basically everything from your lower spine all down your leg.
Mm. Okay.
I would
I
definitely go in
do.
that direction, by the way, at some point. Like
Okay.
maybe continue to work your way through Back Pain Miracle, but as soon as your priority is that feeling, just pop into the sciatica recovery system.
Okay. I'm going to do that tonight.
Right. Sure.
Okay.
Enjoy. I mean, it's a really cool program. A lot of really cool exercises in that.
Sounds awesome. Well, thank you so much for this. Thank you for this video and for saving a lot of people like pain.
You're welcome. And yeah, like happy to help. I mean, just it was a 12-year struggle for me and then just something switched, and I was like, oh, and then just a whole kind of body of work flowed out of that. So, and I'm pretty sure the whole world needs to know it. So happy to put it out there.
Yep, awesome. Wish you lived in my town.
So somewhere in the East Coast, or
Where I'm in California.
I'm in California.
Yeah.
I'm from
Yep.
California.
High desert. Apple
Oh.
Valley.
Oh, okay. Usually I'm decent with accents, but I got that totally wrong.
Well, thank you again. And that was just my, not really question, but wanted to thank you so much for the videos.
You're welcome. Feel free to come, next week or any week you like, and just use these calls half for helping directly the people, and half for just generating content that I can put out publicly.
Yep.
So
I'm learning a little
come
bit
along.
with each call, each person that's talking. I'm learning a little bit more from everybody.
I try to like expand it, like each person that talks, we kind of like expand into, deeper into the theory. Okay. I'll take we've gone through most people here, but there's still a few people that haven't spoken. There's still a Christopher. We got Gladys and Kathy, and Dennis, if you're ready. Anyone, just go ahead, and would love to help you. Okay, I'm just going to wait 30 more seconds. If no one pops up within 30 seconds, we'll just call it, because that's about an hour anyway. But if you got a question, throw it in. Even if I've already spoken to you and you want to ask another question, go for it. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for coming. Hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Okay, ending the call. Bye, everyone. Have a great day.